What is up, guys? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel. Another day, another workout. Happy Monday, guys. In today's workout, I'm super pumped because this week is going to start week 1 of our weight training. So I'm super excited. If you guys have weights at home, if you have dumbbells, this workout is for you. If you don't have weights at home, then I would suggest using something from around the house that's a little bit of weight to it. So something maybe like laundry detergent or some water bottles. Even if you have, empty water bottles, filling them up with sand for additional weight, something like that. It'll be perfect. If you have kettlebells, then by all means, you can also use kettlebells for this workout. So today's workout is, as you can see in the title, called the 60s workout. So basically we're going to be repeating every exercise for 60 repetitions. That's right. So we have 2 exercises. For example, you're going to have shoulders and legs, and we're going to be doing a leg exercise for 20 reps. Then we're going to do a shoulder exercise for 20 reps. We're going to repeat it 3 times, equaling 60 reps. So at the end of the video, there's going to be a bonus. It's going to be a little bit shorter than the 60 rep workout, but nonetheless, still really good. So I hope you guys enjoy today. And if you are interested in any other styles with regards to weight training, please comment below what you'd like to see, because I am super pumped to be using these weights today. Finally came in. So let me know, and I'll see you guys at the end of the video. Alrighty guys, so we are gonna get started with our warm-up here. First things first, again, if you don't have a step, no worries, you can just step back in front. I'm using my step today just to get that heart rate up a little bit faster. So just stepping up and stepping down, a couple of reps per side. So each time, one side is gonna be starting, getting that going. And there we go, switching it over to the other leg. Always want to make sure we do a little bit on each side just to kind of make sure both sides are working equally. And taking it down, we're going to go into leg curls here. So one side here, curling it back. And I'm also working that upper body, so I'm bending and extending those arms just to kind of warm up the bicep and tricep. Let's switch over to the other side here. And taking it down, good. Let's crisscross those arms a couple of times in the front here. Warming up that upper body a little bit more, the shoulders, the chest, reaching up, stepping it side to side. Very good. And some shoulder circles here, so big circles, as big as you can. And the other way. Beautiful. One more time, crisscross, try to add a little bit more range of motion. And let's get those hip flexors warmed up. So we're just reaching opposite hand to opposite heel in the front here. And that's it. Grab some water. We're going to get started with squats and shoulders. Alrighty guys, so we are starting off with our squats here. I'm using my weights. Again, if you want to use something other than weights or just do body weight, that's completely fine here. We're going to go for 20 reps. Just a quick reminder to make sure you really squeeze those glutes at the top. As you're coming down, you want to make sure you're keeping your core and your back nice and tight as well. Knees are aligned with the toes, so let's keep it going. Going at your own pace here, breathing in through the nose as you come down, exhaling through the mouth as you come up. Alrighty, shake it off a little bit, going into shoulders here. So I'm just pulling up, still using the same weight again, making sure that your wrists are staying nice and straight. So making sure that your wrists aren't curved in any way. and I'm pulling up, squeezing the shoulders at the top, going for 20 reps. And then guess what, guys? We're gonna repeat this 2 more times. So keep it going. In this exercise, the harder part is coming up. So this is where you're gonna be exhaling, inhaling on the way down. Push through, guys, just a few more. And shaking it off if you need to. Let's go back into our squats, our second set here. Try to take as little breaks as possible, but again, remember, this is your workout, so if you need to take that break, take it. But you're gonna have a nice little break after we're done this 2 exercise circuit. Feeling good, try to get that squat as low as you possibly can. Really engaging all the muscles in your legs here, your quads, your hamstrings, those glutes, and your core. Again, if you're adding in some weight, you're adding in a little bit more core there. Shake it off, and shoulders ready, and pull it up. If you're finding it a little bit too much of a challenge, then you can always decrease the intensity by going alternating sides. You'd still be counting to 20, but you're getting a little bit less reps in per side, so you'd be doing only 10 per side, and that's completely fine as well. Again, making sure for this move you're not bouncing, you're not using your knees to get that momentum to bounce those weights up. If that is happening, then your weight is a little bit too heavy for the 20 reps. So I would suggest either cutting down the reps if you don't have another option for weight, or reducing your weight. Pushing through, guys. I know it's getting intense. Good. Shake it off, and final set of squats here. Let's make it happen. Double check that form, making sure your knees are aligned with the toes. Core engaged. Squeezing those glutes. Oh yes. Shake it off, and final set for shoulders here. I know we're getting a little tired, but you guys got this. So again, notice I'm standing nice and tall, not slouching forward, trying to keep my posture here. My knees are soft, I'm not locking the knees. Head is looking forward, pulling it up. Very good. Got less than 20 reps here, guys, so fight through it. Don't give up, don't give up, push through. Fantastic. Shake it off, take a little break. We're gonna get into our next 2 exercises. All right, guys, so we're setting it up for some lunges and back rows. So first move is gonna be lunges. I'm alternating as I lunge back. So again, try to lunge back if possible. I'll attach a video as well as to proper lunges and proper form, and how to make sure your lunges are keeping your knees nice and safe. So make sure to watch out for that in the description below. But basically alternating legs, if you feel like you want to do each side and just repeat that one side for a few reps and then switch, you can go ahead and do that as well. So again, keep it going, alternating sides here. Still trying to maintain that posture, shoulders back, chest out. Alrighty, we're gonna grab our chair and we're gonna do alternating, single-sided back rows here. So I'm retracting that shoulder and rowing that arm up. My elbow kind of glides against the shirt here. I'm gonna show a couple of variations, so each round I'll change it up a little bit, but you can follow along with this one if you're comfortable with this one. So notice my form here, look at my back. It's like a table, it's flat, flat, flat. Okay, so if you're feeling that maybe your chair is too low, you can hold to the higher part of the chair on the back of the chair, the seat. So it's up to you. You just want to make sure that back is staying nice and flat. There's no rounding of the back. Squeezing the center of that upper back as you're doing this movement. Again, I'm going to retract the shoulder here first, and then you're going to pull. Very good, guys. Another thing you want to keep in mind is trying to keep your hips pretty square to the floor, and also making sure that you're engaging your core muscles, so keeping your abdominal muscles as tight as possible for this. Perfect, shaking it off, and we're gonna go back to our lunges here. So chest out, shoulders back, and lunging it back. Again, trying to get those lunges as low as you possibly can so you can get a little bit more of those hamstrings and glutes. Again, if you're finding it that it's a little bit too intense, you can always reduce the weight by just putting the weight down and just keep going without your weight. Some adding on. This time we're going to do the back rows, both arms at the same time. So here we go, I retracted those shoulders and I'm rowing it back. Again, if you want to continue with the singles, you can go ahead and do that as well, and then just pause the video when you get to the second side before we get into our last set of lunges here. So again, this one is a little bit tougher because now I don't have any support with the other side to support my core, right? So now your core is working a little bit harder to keep that back nice and flat. You still want to keep your core engaged and your knees soft. And notice I'm still pulling the elbows. They're gliding against the shirt, so you don't want to have your elbows flared out too far. You want to keep them close to the body. Ooh, shake it off, and our last set for the lunges here. Get ready and stepping it back. Boom. One other reminder for the lunges, you want to make sure you're coming down nice and low, but you're not hitting the floor with your knee, okay? If that is happening, and just because of maybe control or maybe just a little bit tired, make sure you put something soft under your legs, under your knees, so when you're coming down, you're not hitting the floor really hard with your knees. But again, if you're not sure, click on the link below, and it'll give you a demo of how to get the perfect lunge. And we're almost there. Just to let you guys know, we're gonna be changing it up a little bit. So notice my palm here, we're going into singles again. Palm is facing away from the body, and then I'm rowing up this time. So again, it's a little bit of a different position on the shoulder, and it engages your shoulder and back in a little bit of a different way. So again, I'm doing singles. You can do the double. I'm just demonstrating the single here because it is a little bit of a trickier move. So you just want to make sure that you're getting that proper form. You still have that elbow gliding against the shirt here. Let's switch it over to the other side. So palm is turned out, retract the shoulder and row. Again, focus on squeezing the center of that back, guys, keeping it tight. You got this. Awesome. Take a little break before we get into the next round. Alrighty guys, so setting it up for some pistol squats and bicep curls. So I'm using my chair for these squats here. So notice I'm coming up and coming down and sitting into that chair. Couple of things to note here. As I'm coming up, I'm really focusing in on squeezing that glute at the top. So you can see my leg is coming up pretty straight here because I really want to focus in on that glute. Okay, the other thing you want to keep in mind is that I'm pushing through the heel. So the side that my toe isn't up, you want to make sure you're pushing through the heel the whole time. Your heel is glued to the floor. The other side, your option is to, of course, take your leg off the floor completely. I'm modifying by keeping that heel on the floor to help me come up just because of the additional weight at this point. But again, you want to really focus in on taking your time with each move. You don't want to be getting into any sort of momentum where you're rocking yourself back up. So pressing up, squeeze that glute, take it down as slow as you can. Going for 20 reps here, guys, so keep it going. And we're going to switch it over to the other side and do this exact same thing. So you might find that one side is a little bit stronger than the other side. That's totally normal, just being kind of aware of it. And, you know, if you feel that there's a big difference, maybe even adding in an extra 5 reps to that weaker side. Awesome. Shake it off a little bit if you need to. And we're going to grab our weights and we're going to be doing seated bicep curls here. So I'm sitting up nice and tall, shoulders back, and I'm curling both arms up at the same time. Of course, if you want to change it up and just do alternating sides, that's completely fine. If for any reason this bothers your elbows, you can also do hammer curls, which means that you're just turning your weights so that your palms are facing your body instead. I'm just adjusting my weight here and keep it going. So again, the harder part of this exercise is the coming up into that curl. So that's where you want to be exhaling. We're inhaling on the way down. Okay, 20 reps, you're almost there, guys, and then we're gonna repeat those 2 exercises 2 more times. Awesome, weights aside and back to those pistol squats. Again, feel free to pause the video at any moment just to take a break if you need, shaking it out. Awesome, shaking it out, and let's head into those bicep curls for our second set, guys. Woo, legs are gonna be burning. Again, shoulders back and curling it up. Now also you wanna make sure that you have a chair that doesn't have the side handles so that you are able to get that full range of motion. If you don't have that option with your chairs, then I would recommend just doing this standing and just being aware of the rocking motion and making sure that you're not using your knees to bounce to bring that weight up. Another option is to do this on a mat with basically doing this on your knees and just curling it that way, just so you can get that full range of motion. You're fully extending those elbows out to a completely dead weight before you curl it right back up. I know this is definitely the longest set of all the sets that we're doing today because we got 20 pistol squats per leg, but guys, we're killing it. This is the last one. Let's make it happen. And taking it up, pressing up through that heel, up, squeeze that glute and take it down. Alrighty guys, so final set for the bicep curls here. Just giving you a different view this time, facing forward. Again, notice that full extension in the arms on the way up and on the way down, okay? So just 20 reps, and then we get another break. Woohoo! Pushing through here. Let's finish it off strong. Fabulous. Take a little break. Alrighty guys, so we're going into chest press versus tricep extensions here. I'm using my step for this. You can do this on the floor as well. Just a basic chest press, weights coming down nice and low, coming up over the chest, going for 20 reps here. And I will show a couple of variations for the triceps here. Again, just a quick reminder to keep your core engaged as well. And pushing it through. Alrighty, we're going into triceps here. So I'm using 2 weights, 1 per side, extending and bending. Think about keeping those elbows pointing up to the ceiling as your weights come down, making sure that your shoulders are moving as little as possible. You can stick to this. This is probably going to be the highest level that we're going through. I found that for me it was just a little bit too heavy to go through all the rounds like this, so I will demonstrate a couple of other options, especially for those of you who are pregnant, maybe staying on your back for so long isn't comfortable, so I will show a couple of options for that as well. But keep it going, 20 reps here. Beautiful. Take a little rest if you need. And then we're going to go right back into chest press here. So shake it off, grab water. 3, 2, 1. And when you're ready, let's press it back up. Another 20 here. Awesome. Adding on triceps again. So this time I'm using 1 weight. Same concept as before. I'm going to bring that weight down and take it up, but I'm just using 1 weight. Again, focusing on bending and extending those elbows. Now, because my weight is a little bit big, you'll notice that my shoulders are kind of pushing up a little bit higher, but that's totally fine. They're still not moving as I'm coming up and coming down. So I'm keeping them in place. This actually engages a little bit more of the muscles in your back as well. If your weight is a little bit smaller where you can bring it down towards your forehead more, then you can completely keep your form with the shoulder and elbow being nicely aligned in a straight line. Fantastic, shaking it off. And we're going into our final set here for the chest press. One thing I did forget to mention is you want to make sure that your head is on the step. So I know it looks like my head is not on the step, but I actually am relaxing my head on the step. You don't want your neck hanging or your head hanging off the step if you are using a step. Fabulous. Last tricep exercise. Here's a seated option. So I'm sitting up and then I'm extending and bending again, just doing an overhead instead. So you can do any of the 3 that we have been doing. Again, hitting 20. Last time for today. Perfect. Take a little break. We're going into our last exercises. Alrighty guys, so hip hikes and obliques here. So I'm going to be using the step for this. You can do this on a stair at home. All I'm doing is keeping 1 foot on the step, and I'm basically just pushing my opposite hip up as high as I can. This is a great one for just a little bit of hip mobility and flexibility. So It's a very small move. I want you to pretend like there's a string attached to your hip and it's being pulled up. The leg that's on the step, it's not bending and extending that knee again. It's not like a squat. It's just the hip. So pushing it up, we're gonna go for 20 per side. We only have 2 sets of this, okay? So we're gonna switch it over to the opposite side here. Again, lift that hip up and then drop that leg like you're trying to push that leg out of its socket on the way down and then pull it back in. This is a tricky one. It looks simple. It's a tricky little move. Again, it's not super intense. This is just kind of, I added these 2 exercises more as a kind of bonus to help us cool down a little bit because it's not as intense, but still really important, really good. Perfect. Now we're gonna hit the obliques. We're gonna work the sides. So I'm gonna hold my weight, standing nice and tall, and I'm reaching down towards my knee, coming back up nice and straight. So again, keeping that weight to one side. You don't wanna hold both weights. You're just gonna hold one weight on one side, or you can hold 2 weights on one side. The point is to keep an imbalance. So taking it down and then coming up nice and tall, belly button to the spine, core is engaged, chest out, shoulders back. If you're having a hard time with this one, another option is to lean against the wall and make sure as you're kind of sliding down towards your knee, your back and head is staying against the wall. And now we're going to be adding on in just a second, so keep it going. We're gonna switch sides. Here it goes. So the weight is staying on the same side. We're just doing the opposite side here. So the muscle has to work in a different way now. Those obliques have to work to, again, pull that weight all the way from one side all the way to the other side here. So again, just changing up the direction in which I'm leaning towards, but keeping that weight on the same side that you did the whole time. And just don't forget which side you're holding your weight so that for the next round that we do this, you're gonna be doing the opposite sides. Very good, and going back into our hip hikes again. Second set, last set. Fabulous. Switching over to the other side. Last time for today. Fabulous stuff. Let's grab that weight. You're going to hold it on the other side and hitting those obliques for the final round here. Down and coming up. Keeping your core engaged, making sure you're nice and tall. So it's not about getting that weight all the way down to the floor. It's about making sure that your chest and shoulders are nicely pulled back and you're just coming down to the side. You don't want to be rounding your lower back for this. And switching over to the other side here, finishing it off strong. Keep breathing, guys. We got it. Almost there. And time. Shake it off, and we're gonna go into our cool down. Do side lunges here just like this. Toes are facing forward. I'm just going side to side here. Very good. Body worked hard today. You guys should be so proud of yourselves. You did amazing. I can't believe we did 60 reps for everything. Oh my goodness. Let's hold that one side here. Feeling that stretch throughout the inner thigh and the hip. Over to the other side. Very good. And back to center. Let's add on. We're going to stretch out our calves here and the hamstrings and glutes. So you just want to make sure that when you're holding on to your leg, notice I'm holding on to the bent leg, not to the straight leg. And then we're going to be reaching down as well. Legs are nice and straight. You don't have to touch the floor, you're just going as far as you can. And then we're going to round our back and flatten it. So feet are parallel to each other here. Taking it up, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side in just a second. Just roll those shoulders back a couple of times here. Over to the other side. So again, notice my hand is on the bent leg. I'm not pushing down on that locked knee. Keeping the toe up in the front here. Taking that toe, pushing it down, and then reaching down to the floor here, or as far as you can go with as flat of a back as you can. Awesome, feet together, and again, round and flat, like a standing cat and cow kind of thing. Taking it up, awesome, and rolling those shoulders forward a couple of times. Crossing one hand over the other. And then relaxing the shoulder here, shoulder stretch. Knees are soft. Shake it off. Over to the other side, same thing. Very good, shake it off. And our head, we're just going to turn that head side to side. Nice. Looking up, down, and again, just as high up to look up as your neck is comfortable. Take a nice deep breath up, take it down, one more time up. Ooh, shake it off, and you guys are done. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's workout. I had a lot of fun putting it together, and I definitely felt it. I have another couple of workouts planned for us, another 60s workout, and then I have some muscle split workouts at home. But again, just let me know if you have any suggestions, or is there anything in specific that you guys want to see from me. I am more than happy to put something together for you guys. As always, have an awesome week, and I'll see you guys next week. If you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button if you did this workout, or if you feel like you're gonna do it, or if you like this workout. And don't forget to share with anyone else who might be interested in doing this workout. Have an awesome week, guys. Ciao, ciao.